Hello and welcome to the Knights of the Smith Dinner Table actual play video of our Legend of the Ramblehouse Saints. And I'm not going to lie, I almost slipped there and called it the Saga of the Sun and Scale.
That was last game.
That was last game.
Fucked up.
I'm going to hand it off to Mike.
Well, let's see. Last session, I hit some wolves with the hammer. They ate a cactus, and now we're going to look at dead people.
That's the long and short of it, yeah.
Indeed.
Or the short and short.
So, without further ado, we'll just hop right into the action.
No.
As I said last time, you guys see Rodrik's body laying there on a basically a big stone table, and he's pale, like he completely bled out. And now Fit, I believe, wishes to examine the body.
Yeah, so I was going to do a notice check first to look for anything obvious, and then do a heal check.
Okay.
Notice first, just see what's going on. Looks like
All right.
dead person. Good.
So, as you're looking over his body, I mean, it's obvious that he bled out. He's got long gashes along the arteries in his forearms and on each side. So it's where it follows the... Now I got to remember here. It's not the humerus. I can't remember which bone it is. And I'm a medic. Anyway, he hits the radial artery on... He had hit the radial artery on both arms. And then both of his jugulars, external jugulars, have been cut open as well.
Bash pulls out his maul and stands by Rodrik's head, just in case he gets up.
Okay.
I think that's highly unlikely, Bash, but I appreciate the effort.
All right. So this... And actually, that'll be at a -2. You rolled it before I could tell you.
Okay. So at a -2 because I'm not very noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to spend a Benny, I mean, you don't really notice anything else.
I will spend a penny. I really want to notice something here. I really want to notice something. Thank
All
you.
right. You really wanted to notice something. That cost you, what, 2 bennies? So, or at least I saw 2 bennies fly across my screen.
No, it was just the one.
So, as you're examining the body, you notice that right up around his lips, there's what appears to be kind of an oily substance. And further, as you're examining the body, all of those cuts that he supposedly made are straight. There's no, like normally if somebody were to cut themselves like that, yeah, the first one they might do it pretty straight. But as the blood loss starts to set in, each of the additional ones is going to be a little more jagged, and none of these are jagged like that.
So, who's all in the room still?
Right now, Brantos and your party.
Okay. Is it like Father Brantos or something? Does he have a title?
He is a paladin, judging by his armor and his bearing.
Mr. Brantos, could I have a moment with my team here? Could you? We'll just step out in the hall. Give us a second.
Excellent. I will stay here with him.
So I'll gather everybody in the hall and say, something's off. It doesn't make sense. So I get that he cut and like he bled out, and that anatomically it made sense. He died from blood loss, but I don't think he caused it. So something's really amiss. But there is some sort of a substance on his lips, and I need to get a sample of that. So, Spike, can you show Brantis some karate moves or something, or just keep him busy for a second.
We're here to do this, man. Just grab it.
I don't trust anybody. I only trust evidence and data, and he doesn't seem like one who knows anything about either one of those.
I got this. Ed,
The Thid will head back into the room.
Bash goes right up to Brantis and say, "What's the shit on his lips?"
Hold on just a second.
I took him aback.
That's because you hit him in the face with the hammer. What's the shit on his lips? Smash!
I mean,
This wasn't supposed to be an interrogation. It's an autopsy.
I hate to break it to you. With Bash, everything's an interrogation.
All right. Sorry about that. The 2-year-old was inciting havoc.
That happens.
Yes. Indeed.
But yeah, as Thid goes up to get a sample, I walk up to Brantis and be like, "What's the shit on his lips?"
You'll see Thid get a cotton swab of sorts out and
Brantos
swab around.
looks surprised. And he's like, What are you talking about? And he turns to Rodrik's body and he leans in close.
Can I do a science
You're right.
check on that?
Indeed. You collect a small sample of it. Here, give me that, buddy.
Well, that's a pass.
As you're doing a quick test on it, you identify it as oil of Taggett, which is it is a poison, but it is not one that results in death, just unconsciousness.
He's been Cosby'd.
Wow.
Jeez.
Ooh, wow.
So, oil of Taggett. Where can you get that around here, Brantis?
Honestly, I would not know.
Okay, wait. Leap of logic here. And I kind of grin when I say that at Thid. We've got poisoned wolves. We've got poison murdered fake suicide. There's a connection.
Yeah, but the wolves weren't poisoned and unconscious. Do you remember when they tried to bite you?
Yeah, you haven't examined
Hit me.
that sample yet to see if you can figure out what it is.
I don't know what oil of Saget does to...
It renders
Wolves?
people unconscious.
Oil of Saget.
But what's it do to wolves?
I don't know. I've never used it on a wolf.
Exactly.
Can I now?
Go ahead and make a
science.
science. Go ahead and make a science roll for that. What does it do to wolves?
Can I get a situational mod now that I see oil of Taggett
For this, yes.
+2?
Yeah, we'll go +2.
I needed it.
So, oil of Taggett affects not Saget, Taggett.
I really want to call it Saget from now on.
It affects wolves in the exact same way that it affects humanoids. It just knocks them out.
Yeah, but is that the same oil? Or I guess so. Let me look at my biopsy.
No, it's pretty clear that it's not the same substance.
It's not the same. Yeah. So this definitely. I think there's a connection, and I think you're right, but it's not the same.
And the other thing you would know about oil of Taggett is that it has to be ingested to be effective.
Okay, perfect.
So someone slipped him a Mickey at the bar.
Good possibility.
Do we know where he was the night of his murder? Did he hang out at the bar with us that night?
He was at the Ramblehouse when you guys were there, yes.
Okay. Sid's going to try to think back in his brain, but he remembers very little of the night except for Bash. So,
That's fair.
anybody, hey, Spike, you were somewhat sober. Do you remember seeing him?
Not really, to my knowledge. I was more or less trying to get more information from the bartender.
What about you, Wilkes?
I don't recall seeing him there, but I did run into him earlier in the day. But didn't the bartender, not like anybody that wasn't a shorty?
No. Remember, there was that dude who was in the other room who had the note that he was going to kill Rodrik.
Right, but didn't the bartender bring him breakfast in his suite every morning?
Right, that's how she found the body.
But that's also how she put the poison in his food and he ingested it. So she's working with him.
Could be.
Or that human slipped it in as she delivered the food somehow.
Well, he was dead the night before.
Right, but I assume she brings breakfast for her most mornings then, right? It's odd that she would only do it one time.
Right, but he was dead before breakfast.
Right, so she would have brought him breakfast the day before too, most
But
likely.
then wouldn't he have been unconscious during the Hope Knife ceremony?
Do I know how long it takes oil attack to set in?
Usually within minutes.
Okay. Yeah, he wouldn't have done very good at the tug of war.
Right. Well, they didn't. They sucked, but he was still conscious.
Yeah. Huh.
I look at Brandis. So, in case you haven't figured it out, he was murdered.
Well, oil of Taggett would result, or would be hinting at foul play. But if you think he was murdered, I would, before you take anything to his father, I would definitely get more information.
Oh,
Jagrin is going to want to know every detail.
Oh, right now, he's my primary suspect.
Jagrin?
He says that about every suspect.
No. Hear me out. We've got missing Hope Knife for Orcish Lover. We've got Angry Daddy who doesn't like Son, Deadlin the Green.
Do you think that's enough to kill somebody over?
I mean,
I guess you've killed people over less. I'm gonna assume.
you've only seen me kill a wolf. You're not wrong, but
Right. That was the assumption part.
I mean, if we're going along with this assumption train, why couldn't it be the jealous brother instead?
oh, he's a cuck.
I don't know what his sexual habits have to do with anything at this point.
No, like emotionally. Like, do you see how frazzled he was about being in Rodrik's position as like in charge of this, to a point where he gave 4 strangers the job to find out who killed his brother because he couldn't handle the pressure?
But like, as a cuck, emotionally, wouldn't you like to watch other people have emotional breakdowns? Just like based off the cuckiness of it.
You're overthinking this.
That's one of my top attributes. So we have a cuck and an upset daddy.
Right.
And now we know a little more than what we did before we came in here.
And we've got, but think about it. Jagrin is like boss hog of the guard, right? Looking at Brantis.
Jagrin is the lead captain. The one who's actually in charge is oh shoot, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, the mama orc.
Yes.
Yeah. Helgra.
Helgra. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Jagrin has the ability to get things into town, correct?
I mean, I assume if you're a captain, you have some sort of pool.
Like wolves?
Like a dozen wolves, contraband poison, unknown person to live at the Ramblehouse for a few days.
Yeah, but I think he would have to have a front. I think it'd be weird if he was asking for all that stuff. So there has to be more people in play here, right? So that's why I'm thinking the barkeep had something to do with it. That human that we don't know probably had something to do with it.
So it's looking like our line of questioning leads us back to the Ramblehouse.
Well, we still gotta.
We still need to talk to almost from too, right?
That dude, and then
Brynja, the lover.
All right. So do you want to leave the church then?
I appreciate your
turn
discretion.
around and take one last look, just from a distance,
Okay.
at him to see. Yep, I'm bamboozled.
Well, we should keep the body preserved in case we need to look for anything else.
We will. And I'm sorry that I have no more insight into your investigation. Iamede's light shines on those who seek the truth, however, and you are always welcome at this sanctuary should you need healing or other assistance from the church.
It is always good to have a healer in your back pocket.
All right, so where's this almost from guy at?
That you don't know.
He's a patrolman, right? So they have to have like a post.
He is a patrolman, but he's a sergeant too, so he could be anywhere in town.
Why don't we go to the nearest post and ask him?
Okay. So as you guys are wandering about town looking for him, and there it is. So go ahead and make persuasion checks as you guys are asking about. Well, Bash is no help.
Oh no, Bash is just going up to people. Where the fuck is Almost?
Almost.
They didn't do too well either.
No, but he's not walking up and screaming at people. So between Spike and Wilkus, you guys do learn that Omast can be found at the south tower of Trunau's inner wall. Apparently he is down there working. And as you guys make your way there, it takes you a bit, 15, 20 minutes. And I mean, you're starting to get, at this point, you're starting to get into the mid-afternoon. You see the sergeant. He appears to be an older gentleman. And he is currently dangling from the tower's battlements by a rope tied to his belt. And he appears to be trying to wash away some graffiti. Let me show you an image of him. That is what he looks like.
He's only got one arm.
Well, I mean, that's just a portrait. He does have both arms.
He looks kind of shady and drunk.
As a matter of fact, you can smell the alcohol from down below him.
Oh, this should be fun.
Well, obviously, he's grieving right now.
Was it one of those crosses he's trying to wipe off?
It's one of those swords, yes.
Sorry, swords. Crossed swords.
No, it's just a single sword.
Oh.
Mr. Fromm, I need to talk to you.
He looks down. Okay, give me a moment.
Belay on.
And
That's a repelling joke.
he stumblingly climbs back up because they don't have belaying stuff like what we know it as. staggers across the wall and into the closest tower, which is the south tower. And after a few moments, he comes stumbling out the door and walks up and says, "Patrol Sergeant from reporting is ordered."
This
From where?
And he
explains
slaps
so much.
a really poorly done salute. And you guys do see that in his left hand, he is holding what appears to be a bottle of alcohol. And from just the smell that is coming off of him, you're guessing he has been into the bottles all day.
Were you trying to wipe off the cross or the swords? Jeez, Mike.
You're welcome.
Were you, were you trying to wipe off the white swords over there?
Yeah, the stupid graffiti people
Do you know what like
trashing
what
our
they're-
town and making it look ugly, and if I find them, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind.
Do you
I think we
know
only have
who
a
did it?
couple left.
No, I don't know who did it.
Oh.
It
Do you
happens
know
at
what
night.
they mean? Do you know what they mean?
No idea.
So you're just wiping down
Well,
items that you
trying.
don't have a meaning for?
That-
Why
that's-
is a sergeant doing grunt work?
Because
I think we know the answer to that.
Because you suck?
no. I don't want to take anybody off duty to do it. So I'm
Well,
doing it.
let me explain what your brilliant guardsmen are doing while you're sitting here wiping so effectively white paint. I literally had to save a pile of your townspeople from a dozen wolves because your guards are idiots.
The wolves were also poisoned, if you want to know. I don't know what poison it was, though.
What was that?
Exactly. You're sitting here drunk, doing scut work, when you should be out doing actual things. You suck.
So, what do you know about Rodrik's death?
Ah, poor young Rodrik. That magnificent bastard.
Just that I don't know how to respond to that response.
He was a great man. Although he had a soft spot for the the half greenskins who were threatening the livelihoods and well-being of worthy Trunauans. Oh, why did he have to go so soon?
Have you been drunk since he died, or even before he died?
No, my first drink was... And he starts trying to count on one hand.
That's because he only has one arm.
It was right after I got the news.
So not only do you suck, but you're also weak of will.
You're mean.
Bash, is this what you call an emotional cuck, or is this different?
No, he's got unrequited love for Rodrik.
I love him as a son.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a shame that his dad probably killed him.
What? Jagrin would never do such a thing.
How would you know? You're drunk.
I've served that family for my entire career.
How does Jagrin feel about Rodrik mixing the pink with the green?
And he leans in close. Says, "What do you mean mixing pink with green?"
You know, Bash, I've heard that it's all pink on the inside.
I haven't tested that theory. Rodrik is in
Got it.
love with Brynja,
What?
who is a
Who's Brynja?
his girlfriend.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, the issue is that apparently the issue is that she's a half orc, and it sounds like you don't approve of it. Neither does his dad.
She's a half
Yeah.
orc.
Yeah,
Ah, he's such a softy.
but actually, weren't we told he was some human with brown hair?
No, that was the guy beside his room that we think
Right.
killed him.
We're talking to a human with brown hair. Where were you last night?
I was at the Longhouse.
What's that?
Do you have anybody you can
barracks.
back up with?
Oh, barracks. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's where all of the town guard live, effectively.
And you have people who can corroborate this story?
At least 20.
Are they as well trained and smart as the guards that I've come across earlier, including yourself?
Hey, I'm
Stupid.
no drunk.
Yeah.
And at that
on
point,
duty.
he breaks down into sobs.
You know, Spike, why don't you give him a pat on the back?
You know, I'm not sure if it would do more harm than good at this point, but I'm willing to try.
What's that?
Like, oh,
Pardon?
Try what?
Give him a pat on the back.
I didn't know if
Oh.
you needed a little pep in your step there. A little, jolt of your memory. Get you back to thinking straight.
how much is left in that bottle he's got?
It looks like it's almost empty.
Yeah, I'm going to grab it and smash it against the wall.
Hey, what'd you do that for?
You're on duty, idiot.
I'm off duty.
Oh, well, then I did it because I wanted to.
I feel like Spike is just looking at him like, dude, chill. Holy schmoly.
Bash
So-
does seem to be a bit intense.
So he's going to be of no use to us.
Yep, he's worthless.
Why?
I'm going to ask him for a high five and see if he does it.
He tries, but he misses.
Fair enough. Maybe
You
next
gotta
time.
look at the elbow. Look at the elbows.
All right. Before I completely write you off as the worm that you are, what else can you tell us about Rodrik? Who do you associate with?
He was a guard captain, so pretty much the whole town.
Is there anybody that you can think of that would want Rodrik dead?
All the orc tribes
Anybody in Trunau?
in Trunau, maybe people he's thrown in jail for a reason. Any reason? I mean, he was one hell of an investigator. If he got his nose onto something, he would run it down. He was amazing at that.
Wasn't there something in that dude's note? The mystery guy. I don't have that note in my inventory.
I gotcha.
What was in that note? Wasn't there something about the Rodrik being onto him or something, being nosy?
A meddling militia patrol captain has been poking around, but I don't foresee him being a threat for much longer.
What was Rodrik investigating?
Most recently.
Within the last 2 days.
I don't know. He didn't often tell me. He would wait until he had everything gathered, but if it's anywhere, it would be in his journal.
His journal wasn't with the body.
Where would this journal be at? Do you know?
If it wasn't with him, then I don't know. Someone else has it.
Does he have an office of any sort outside of the Ramblehouse? He is a captain, so
He has his office in the Longhouse.
okay. I'd ask you to escort us there, but I want to walk in a linear pattern. So, where would his office be located at in the longhouse?
Just ask any of the guardsmen there, and they'll show it to you.
All right.
Thanks, you've been zero help. Get your shit together, soldier.
Go ahead and make an intimidate check.
Did I actually not take intimidate?
If you role play it well enough, you don't need it.
Right? I'm going to spend a Benny because fuck it. That's why.
There you go. That's right. He gets a big negative because he's an emotional blabbering drunk right now.
Effectively, yeah. All right. And he gets a spirit check. He looks very cowed. Like you've definitely startled and very likely frightened him. And you notice he starts rambling back into town, or back into the main part of True Now.
What time of day is it at this point?
Mid-afternoon, like around 3 in the afternoon at this point.
Okay. What's closest, Brynja or the Longhouse?
Brynja.
All right. Well, on to the side piece.
All right. So you make your way to a boarding house, which is just northwest of the Commons, which is a large open area where you guys had the tug of war at. And you get to the boarding house. I assume you're just going to knock on the door.
Yep.
All right. After a minute or so, the door opens a crack, and you guys see a female half-orc who she looks an absolute mess. And I have an image of her. Hold on just a second. There we go.
Oh wow, she looks very sad.
She's just sobbing. And as she opens the door, she's like, Can I help you?
Are you Brynja?
Yes.
Okay, we need to talk to you.
Oh, please. Come on inside.
It's not going to be pleasant.
She swings the door open, and inside you just see a pretty Spartan 2-room boarding house. Like, she's got a bath area and then her living area, and she's got a little stove, bed, a table with a couple of chairs around it. And she says, I'm sorry, I don't have much, but please make yourselves at home.
We won't take up much of your time, ma'am.
Okay.
We're investigating Rodrik's death.
You can tell that just stings her hard.
And right now, we're fairly 100% certain that he did not kill himself.
She looks up suddenly, surprised, and what do you mean? He was murdered?
That's what the evidence is pointing to. So we're trying to figure out his last couple of days to figure out who he might have pissed off. Do you happen to have his journal?
I do not. I I didn't even know he had a journal.
Yeah, almost told us about it.
Do you happen to have any oil of Taggart laying around?
No, why would I have such a thing?
Just asking.
We're just making sure everything's in line. Now, what do you happen to know what he was investigating?
No, he wouldn't tell me, but he called it his greatest work. He wouldn't share anything with me, and at least when it came to that.
Did he have any other confidences or anything like?
That you might think is useful in this situation?
He spoke on occasion of meeting with someone who intrigued him. The name was Katrezra.
Who's Katrezra?
Just another half-orc who was staying at the sanctuary.
Well, then we'll have to ask about Katrezra at the sanctuary. Okay. Now, do you know why he would have an order for a hope knife? Oh, did not mean to click it that way. That says, for Rodrik, my love.
His hope knife was the one I used to have, and when we got engaged, we traded hope knives to symbolize our union, and had Sarah Morninghawk engrave them with our love notes. So definitely talking about the hope knife, you can tell that she's really sad, and she pulls at her heavy silver necklace that she's wearing and reveals a hope knife dangling from the chain and says, "See, this was Rodrik's hope knife. It says, for Brynja, my love. I
You what?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to go on without him."
Question. How long have you had these hope knives?
A few months. I mean, Rodrik's hope knife is now mine, and he had the one that I had originally.
Oh. Well, this is awkward because he placed an order for another one.
What?
Pull out the receipt.
She looks it over, and this doesn't make sense. Why would he have a new one made?
So you didn't know if he had lost the other one?
No, he lost it?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume he ordered a replacement. You don't replace things you already have.
And she kind of bows her head, and you can definitely tell that she's really upset by that, and she's just quietly sobbing.
I don't deal with crying girls well. Thid, Locust, Spikely.
Do you have any chocolate that seems to produce positive results?
Do you think that anybody would have done this intentionally to him?
I mean,
Well, we know it was intentional.
He had his enemies amongst the underbelly of True Now, but there's not many of those, and as far as I know, all of them are in jail right now.
Well, based on this city guard, a jailbreak would be very easy.
I mean, do you think he killed himself or not?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. So we at least agree with you on one thing.
Well, I can tell you he didn't kill himself.
We're gonna find out who did this for you.
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. You said you guys were engaged. Did anybody else hear that?
Of course, Kirst knew, and he didn't want to tell his father, but I guess he did find out about us and was upset with Rodrik, but it was nothing more than yelling from what Rodrik told me.
I'm telling you guys.
Yeah. Probably needs to be looked into. Further.
But,
Well,
yeah.
We're gonna keep looking into it, but I'm not gonna lie, most people haven't been real helpful to us, and we're new here. I don't know anybody, so we'll try our best.
No, we're going to succeed. We're going to find out who did this, and I promise I will squash his head with a hammer.
Thank you.
And he'll just like gingerly pat her on the shoulder very softly, like she's fragile and will break, and then get the hell out of here.
All right. So where do you guys want to go at this point? Between the travel time to her place and spending time talking with her and everything, it's getting close to probably about 5 in the afternoon.
I think we, is the longhouse close by, or?
No, it's back up by the sanctuary. She lives, you guys were in Lower True Now, where you found Omast, and she lived down there. Which is why she was so much closer.
I think we hit the trail again tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
believe that's the best.
Well, we had some questioning we wanted to do back at the Ramblehouse where we're staying.
Yeah.
All right. So the Ramblehouse does happen to be on the way to Upper True Now. And you guys make your way back there. You're going to get food and everything, I assume.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could eat.
Okay. Cham is much more friendly with you guys, and she even gives you a free meal, considering that you're looking into the death of her friend.
That's right, because she actually liked Rodrik.
She did like Rodrik.
Hey, Cham, was there a journal in his room?
A journal?
Yeah.
No, not that I'm aware of. No.
What was he drinking last night?
Last night he was drinking his usual Ramblehouse ale. He did.
Do you know who was serving his drinks?
I'm the one who served it myself.
Huh.
You didn't notice anybody sketchily watching him?
It was a busy night. You guys were here.
That is true.
I don't remember a damn thing from last night.
You were deep in your cup, sir.
It's good ale.
Thank you.
I forgot it wasn't Dwarven for a second.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do before you turn in for the night?
Have a couple, but not more than a couple, because I'm on duty, and when you're on duty, you don't drink like a fucking idiot.
All
Well,
right.
while we're eating and stuff, I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on the assisting wait staff and see if any of them seem kind of like out of place or anything like that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a notice check.
Hawkeyes.
Nice. No one who is working, and you're pretty sure it's all the same people as last night, but no one who is working seems to be acting suspicious in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
All right. So after a good meal, passing the time with a few drinks, you guys head up to your room for bed.
And make Thid's bunk bed.
Remaking Thid's bunk bed.
No screwing around tonight. We've got a murderer afoot.
What if he has two?
Well, then we should be doubly concerned.
Indubitably.
Does our door swing in or out?
It swings out.
All right. Watch schedule.
I'll go first.
Okay.
We're sleeping in a place somebody was murdered last night.
That's fine.
It's a little over dramatic, but it's fine.
I'll take second, I guess.
Okay.
I will get up early and take the remainder of the morning.
All right, then I got third.
Okay. So you guys make your way up to your room. Everybody beds down except for Spike Lee. And as the night goes on, let's see, Thid was on second, which would cross past midnight and into about 1 or so in the morning. And as that happens, Thid, I need you to make a notice check.
Okay. That's one and that's one. A little sleepy.
All right. So as you're there, keeping watch in the room, I'm going to... Oops, missed one. Unhide these tokens. I'm going to pull you guys in here so you can see your room. Which I think... Yeah, both... it is very dark in here. You do have the candles lighting things up.
I do not have.
You do not have... You cut out, Mike. Oh,
no,
he cut out because we lost him.
He disappeared.
So we'll give him a moment because he's going to want to be here for this. Aha. He's coming back in now, and there he is. All right.
I still have no tokens with permission.
Really?
Yep.
That is weird. So let me do this. Come up here to heroes. Bash.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So Bash and Thid can see just fine. But Thid or not Thid, only Thid is awake at this time. And Thid, you have just a moment's notice as suddenly someone comes crashing through the window. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Son of a bitch.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. We'll see everybody next episode. Have a great one.
Every time.